when I first suggested the topic to you, I was so fed up because everyone around the world's just shitting on the Dodgers because they're so good and they're the evil empire and they're buying everything up. But they're the most eminently likable team that's ever existed in sports.
The most likable?
Most likable, absolutely. It's Shohei Ohtani is like, there's nothing bad you can say about him. He's the greatest baseball player of all time.
What about that? Cool. He had a gambling, his agent.
That you think that's a cover up? You think he's the gambler?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a Blueprints mystery true. Here. Just
that's right. There's nothing wrong with betting on baseball. Pete Rose did it, and he's an all-time great as well. And then they've got Freddie Freeman, who has a Canadian I can't hate.
That's a great name.
Plays for Team Canada. I'm also falling over.
Wow.
He plays for Team Canada even though he's American because his mom was from Canada and she died tragically. So how can you hate that?
He sounds like a superhero's alter ego, Freddie Freeman.
The Freddie Freeman. Yeah. We have to stop the Freeman. Mookie Betts is a guy who's only ever smiling.
Amazing name as well.
Mookie.
So that's the thing. I'm gonna make Pants a fan of the Dodgers just saying their names. Then you got Kike Hernandez. Like they all have really fun names to say. They're gonna win, so it's fun to cheer for a winner. Why would you ever not want to cheer for a winner? I got a fan.
I was gonna say I can just see fur. That's all I see.
Give me a moment.
Your tentacles look very
uncovered in pink. Yeah. Weird how that works. Let me see.
I didn't even know, while you're adjusting him, I didn't even know that you watched or even cared about baseball. I learned this on a throwaway comment when you were saying that you hurt your shoulder.
I love to play it.
Yeah,
too,
I had no idea about any of this.
I'm not on the up and up about it. No one needs to know about that in my day-to-day life.
You're kind of a sports in general, though. Like your head, like you just have.
I love following
stats in your head and stuff. And players.
I love following any sport. Yeah. I'll watch every hockey game I can. I'll watch every basketball game I can. Baseball, there's way too many games, but
yeah. What's the season for? Is there only like
162? Oh, and it used to be only the champions of each league would advance to the playoffs, but then they doubled the amount of teams making the playoffs in baseball. So now like half the teams make the playoffs.
How long is the playoff season? Like what months?
Playoff season's about a month and a half. It's from end of August until very beginning of October some years.
Is it every day essentially then?
Usually, yeah. Towards the end, like, with hockey playoffs, it's a lot of games at first, and then by the end, it's one every second day or whatever.
I always find it so crazy that they play, like, their season is kind of similar to hockey, but they play twice as many games.
Yeah, it's true. They just play literally every day. They have, like, one day off every week.
They can play two games in one day, too, can't they?
Yeah, they'll do double headers. They'll schedule double headers, and then sometimes the games will get postponed during the season. They'll have a triple header. It's happened a few times in the past couple of years.
The same team will play triple?
The same team will play each other 3 times in one day.
What? Aren't some games sometimes like 4 hours long?
They used to be, but they've also introduced lately the pitch clock in baseball, where now between pitches, every pitcher only has 12 seconds before they have to pitch the next throw. So games move. You sometimes will be done a game in about like an hour and 40 minutes.
Is that controversial? Do people miss the old way?
Old farts do, yeah. And pitchers who like to complain do. But like after one season, nobody noticed it, and it's so nice to not be sitting there for 4 hours watching some guy stretch before he pitches.
Yeah, I know absolutely nothing about baseball. It's one of the sports I don't follow at all. I haven't even seen even like a peewee game. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything.
The Vancouver Canadians play where you are. They're pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't even know
when
that.
I was 12. I don't know.
What anymore. Is that like the league underneath?
That's the league under the league underneath.
Okay.
That's AA ball, yeah. But it's a weird sport. It's fun to play. It's the easiest sport for someone who doesn't like to play sports. Because you really only have to run, I don't know, twice every 10 minutes.
But hitting the ball is
great. Oh, it's the most satisfying. I would argue there's no more satisfying sound or emotion than the crack of the bat.
It may be true because I
have a goalpost.
Oh yeah, that's pretty, but that's not satisfying though, because that's like deflating and awful.
Unless it goes in, like bar down.
That's true. Yeah, maybe pinging a golf ball. That's also a pretty.
That's pretty good.
Tip it over again. What the heck?
I only have one memory of actually successfully hitting a ball with a baseball bat, and it did stay with me. I think about it to this day. I felt like a hero. It was like grade
Absolutely.
7, and it was gone, and I barely even swang. It was just like you hit it at the right speed and the right place, and it just went.
Yeah.
Like, but usually it's just like you miss or foul ball. Like that was my life whenever I played baseball the few times.
Well, this season in major leagues, actually, they've changed there's a huge new popular trend where there's a torpedo bat that everybody's using.
Oh yeah.
So bats have this big bubble in the middle of them now that has a way bigger sweet spot. And, oh my God.
You're too excited about baseball.
I love baseball. So now these bats have this huge sweet spot, and people are hitting home runs all over the place, and so it's half of people are angry at that, and half of people love it. But I guess that's just sports in general.
Is it like considered? Do people argue that it's like cheap, like cheating?
Yeah,
yeah.
People argue that it's cheating, but bats always have to follow, like they always have to be the same length, and they can only be like a maximum width in a certain place. But those are the only rules that they have to follow.
So some players aren't even using that torpedo one?
Yeah, some people are using regular old bats.
Oh, that seems a bit weird, yeah.
Yeah, but then like these
save that for the playoffs or something. Like bust out this new bat.
Oh yeah,
and just
destroy people.
Get a huge advantage in the playoffs before every other team knew about it.
But then what if it takes you 4 games to learn how to do it properly?
I just had like midnight practices with the team.
Oh yeah, these guys get paid millions of dollars. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends who are really into baseball, and one of them was a Angels fan when Ohtani got traded. He was on the Angels, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He was on the Angels originally. Yeah,
so that was a pretty devastating day.
Being an Angels fan is a unique kind of devastating. They have the 2 best baseball players of the last 50 years on their team, and they haven't made the playoffs ever. So it's.
I only knew them as the movie.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I didn't even
know
it was
all
real.
Out in the outfield.
Like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was
I wonder
real.
if the fans still do that. That would be really fun to be a part of.
Was that a thing they did? Or like was the movie based on like pretty real, accurate info? Like not obviously.
No, there was never a dead guy that was a fielder for the California Angels.
Story.
I don't actually remember the story of Angels in the outfield.
Oh man, I'm getting that movie confused with Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the Kevin Costner one?
No, the one with the kid with the really great arm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He plays for the Yankees.
That was in oh shit.
King Arthur's
Court.
That's
the one. King Arthur's Court. Yeah. He was in those 2 movies, and then I never heard from him ever again.
Huh. I don't know. I don't think I've seen The Rookie. I love sports movies as well. That should have been the angle I took with this, actually.
Well, wait a second. I thought your topic was actually the opposite. Wasn't your topic pitched originally that you have a sports team that everyone hates or likes to hate or something like that?
That hates you for liking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the team that is like it's like cheering for the Lakers in basketball
or the Yankees
or the Leafs.
Yeah, but I mean they're in baseball with the Yankees, and they're even more hated than the Yankees for whatever reason. Or the Manchester United, I guess, would be the other. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Jeremy. Yeah, because I would say the Leafs are pretty hated, kind of for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They fit into that.
The thing that always has, I mentioned that to Coop the other day. Like, the Leafs are hated in the same way that the Yankees are hated. But that's not fair because the Leafs have no success at all.
That's the thing.
You're just bullying someone who's already down. And
they just take up so much of the media coverage in Canada.
And that's why the real reason. Like everyone is annoyed of hearing about them all the time. And fair enough. But, like the fan base is the biggest in hockey. Everywhere you go, every arena, it's like
it's true. Sort of half of them at least are. Yeah.
In Edmonton, it's like half. When the Leafs are in town,
it's crazy, yeah.
But
then I think the Leafs are also people love to hate the Leafs because it's kind of funny at this point too. Like
like
when a team is so inept, it becomes a joke at a certain point. Like the Elks in Edmonton, there was a point they lost. It was like 21 straight home games or something, And like you're not going there to cheer the team, you're going there to cheer a loss. And
is that the new? That's the new name?
We were the Eskimos, now we're the Elks, and now we might be going back to the Esks.
Oh,
I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah.
What logo is that?
I think it's still just going to be the EE in a circle. Nothing exciting. I haven't paid attention to the CFL in a while. But
so Jeremy, do you feel like have you ever experienced someone? Like, have you experienced firsthand hate, like abuse at all, or like?
Oh yeah, like
have you gone to a game before?
Oh yeah,
have you?
Yeah,
okay.
and the games are actually safer than just daily life in Edmonton because in the games
you'll have other Leafs
surrounded by other fans. Yeah, but like anytime, like I worked in offices, so there was always office pools, lots of hockey fans, and as soon as someone found out you were a Leaf fan, it was just torment all the time. When a game was on and they lost, or especially in the playoffs, because Leafs have this history of choking huge leads in the playoffs, which they're probably going to do again. But so it just becomes this torment. And the thing is that you know that the scene in Mad Men, I think there's a meme for it now too, where Don Draper's in an elevator with like a junior copywriter guy, and the junior copywriter guy says to him, "I feel bad for you," and Don Draper looks at him and says, "I don't think about you at all." And that's what Toronto is to every other fan base, because it's so big, and it's kind of like seen as like the hockey center of the world, for better or worse. There's all of these other fan bases that have this weird insecurity about not being as like lauded as Toronto, and so they instantly hate you. And I just walk in and I'm just like, hey, I want to talk about hockey or the hockey game last night, and I can't because they're too busy saying like Matthews is overrated, McDavid's so much better than Matthews, Marner sucks, and it's like I just want to talk about the game. Like, I don't care. But yeah, it's a constant frustration, especially with the Leafs, I find.
I can't even imagine it being a hockey fan in the wrong city in Canada. Like here, just wearing a Dodgers hat around, people just boo me randomly. I feel like the Leafs people would probably like push you if they wanted to
knock off your hat. Knock it off your head.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I'm a Devils guy, so I don't get any. I've never experienced.
That's the thing. We don't think about the Devils at all. That's why.
Yeah, I've always had a safe. But
absolutely,
it's weird though, because I never saw the Leafs as this like. I don't see them getting tons of media attention or whatever. No. Like I don't. Maybe it's because I'm.
Growing up, they were the 5 o'clock team. You could watch them every Saturday as long as you watched the early game.
I think that's what it really comes down to. Is like the Leafs were guaranteed to get a Saturday game, and they also, before streaming and stuff, anytime there was sports news, there was always stuff about the Leafs, and so I find that the complaint is maybe a little outdated now because everyone can stream their own local coverage and stuff if they want, but they do still get a lot of well,
people always used to call it the Toronto Sports Network, and because the Blue Jays are there and the Raptors are there, and those are kind of Canada's only teams in those league. But
it is true, like if Marner sneezes wrong in an interview, it's reported on, right? McDavid could like break his arm and you might not hear it.
Coincidentally, the Oilers have the most boring superstar ever, and then the Leafs have these players who try to show some personality but just get yelled at every time they do anything. It's weird. I don't know.
What do you think?
They just need one. If they can make it past this series, all the jokes would disappear for at least a little bit.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm having a hard time not saying mean things, and so that's already kind of proving it. But like, if Matthews can score against the Panthers for the first time ever in the playoffs, that would probably help a lot.
Yeah, he's been. I mean, he scored like almost 70 goals last year, and now he's been injured all year. He has something wrong with his wrist, and he flew to Germany to get some like secret operation done, but they couldn't do it because I think it would have taken him out for the season or something. So he's just been playing injured. And he's playing really well defensively. But that's not why you pay him $14 million. You
pay someone $4 million to play defense.
For good. He's doing a good job for what he can do right now. But he's leading the NHL right now in the playoffs for missed shots. He's getting tons of opportunities, and he can't. He just can't move his wrist properly to get them on net.
Yeah.
Weird.
And when your whole thing is your shot, and driving the net, and it's too bad. But everybody's hurt.
I had them picked. What in the first round? What did I? Do you remember what I had? It was a sweep or a 4-1? I can't remember what it was, but I remember having
over the Senators.
Yeah.
All right.
And I remember texting you saying I think they're going to go before, early in the playoffs before they play too many games. I remember texting you saying I think the Leafs have I think they might go all the way to the Cup actually. And then for some reason in round 2, based on nothing, I just picked Panthers 4 games to 2, and yeah, they don't. They're
you're looking good. Yeah,
and I mean the Panthers are such an interest. If you want to go down like a rabbit hole of weird stuff, the Panthers are the ones to do it. They have the one of the head people of the league is related to one of their assistant managers.
Oh,
they have there's email evidence of him trying to encourage referees to do certain things to benefit.
Well, that's Colin Campbell also used to be the head of player safety as well.
Exactly. And the Panthers they've injured our goalie already, that was our ringer because he used to play on the Panthers just last year.
Yeah,
he was going to shut them down, and he was doing good.
And Matthews, fine too. Matthews' hand doctor is an actual Panther as well. So,
but they're a really they are a legitimately dirty team, and I know it's true.
Oh yeah,
because if you go on Reddit loves to just hate the Leafs, and if you go on to hockey, our hockey right now, everyone is rallying around the Leafs for the first time ever because they just really want to see Florida go down. That's how you know that something's not right. It was when all these fan bases are you know what? I kind of want the Leafs to win.
The Panthers have always had a rotten heart though too.
Yeah.
Even when we were kids, they threw rats on the ice. It's just a gross franchise. I think their owner just got suspended from hockey-related operations because he was making a fool of himself on Twitter. So, there's still weird people within the organization too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where do you guys put? There was these two guys at work that were getting into an argument because one of them loves the Vegas Knights and one of them loves Oilers, and they're in a group chat, and one of the guys was like, "Go Knights, go!" and that's all he said. But the Oilers Oilers guy just freaked out on him, wrote a paragraph after paragraph, and the Knights guy responded in a way I don't know. He kind of just listed out all these moral things about things that Edmonton Oilers players have done and allegations and charges and things like that, and that's why he's not going to root for them. And I was like, I don't know, how far do you want to go down that road? You could do that with anything. You're not going to watch a movie because the director cheated on his wife. How far does the moral standard or moral fight take into consideration your fandom?
Edmonton their franchise does seem to collect these
back into the 80s even.
McTavish.
There were players, he killed someone in a drunk driving crash, and we bring people back on their second chances all the time.
Perry
just slept with another player's mom or something? I don't remember what happened with that.
Wrestling storyline?
Allegedly.
He had recovery. But then you have Evander Kane.
Evander Kane was just a dumb young guy at the time, doing young.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got 2 sexual assault charges against him.
Does he?
One from his ex-wife that was.
Grimpen, just innocent young guy, dumb.
I don't cheer for the Oilers, so I'm fine with that.
He also was accused of betting against his own team. The NHL found him innocent. He seems to have kind of moved on from that, but he does have a pretty,
I honestly think the most egregious person in the Oilers, well, other than Daryl Cates, is Stan Bowman.
Yeah,
he did the worst thing.
That
was why I stopped cheering for the Oilers.
Yeah.
Who do you cheer for now? Do you have a team?
Ideally I wanted Minnesota to win this year. That didn't happen.
I like Minnesota a lot, actually.
I like the Wild a lot. I like the Sharks. I like the Red Wings. I like bad teams. But I chose Minnesota primarily because they have really cool colors now. They have a really sweet neon green and yellow look. Looks like a Subway.
For some reason I'm curious what happens to Jeremy if the Maple Leafs ever win a cup, because what happened with me was I'm super into the Devils, but they had a great run back in high school where they won the cup and they were doing really well, and once I experienced that as a fan, I kind of felt like I was almost like I rolled the credits almost on sports in a way where I'm like, okay, I did it. And then I didn't really feel like I cared about doing it again. And so that's when I started branching off. Now I have like 8 teams that I like, and I kind of just like hockey as a sport now rather than like a diehard Devils fan. I like a lot of teams, and even right now in playoffs, I watch a lot of the games, even if they're not a team I like. I just like watching hockey now. And I'm curious.
There are teams that I don't like still, definitely.
Oh yeah, like I hate Vegas. I think
I hate Vegas.
they're the worst.
Yeah. I hate Carolina. Yeah.
They're just boring to me as well. Like certain teams I think are just boring.
The Devils also were boring for our entire childhood.
Yeah. But they had Brodeur. But then
they were the team called the Devils. Like they had such a cool logo, and it's easy to see why. Yeah.
They were known for the trap and all that kind of stuff back in the day. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think you'll still, like, if Leafs win, do you think you'll be like, oh, I want more now, I want another, or do you think you'll be like, okay, I'm satisfied? And do you think your fandom will simmer?
I think I'll be like a really strong fan during like the Austin Matthews era, whatever that means, right? Like following this core 4 for the last 9 or so years has actually been like really fun, and it got me. I kind of, my interest waned for a while because the Leafs were so bad, and having these core 4 or 5 players has actually been really fun to watch. Even though they get punted out, they're still like super fun players to watch.
It's all about the chase.
Yeah. And even just individually, like during games, like these guys are doing things that just, single digit human numbers on the planet can do. Like it's absurd. Some of the things they're doing and the plays they make with one another. It's really fun to watch. So I could see myself, if they won, I would still like to watch them.
So are you going to be crushed if Mitch leaves this summer then? Or are you going to follow him?
I've been a pretty vocal, like, I'd like to break up the core for the last couple of years. I just think that, like, there's one of them at least is just either toxic or he's cursed or something. I don't know what it is, and I'm starting to think it might be Matthews, unfortunately.
It was Riley all along. Yeah. No one ever suspected
Riley's
him.
He's the only one who still has like the stink of the old Leafs on him, and I wouldn't mind.
He's got Brian Burke smell on him.
I wouldn't mind getting rid of him, but yeah, no, I think I'd still like to see them play post Stanley Cup win, because they become folk heroes at like in their 20s or 30s, right? Like they'll never have to pay for a meal again in Toronto, right? Like that would just be cool to watch. I think about my dad who he's an Oilers fan, and you got to see all their runs, and that's something that he talks about when when sports comes up, all the time. So it's clearly like a defining memory for him as well, or formative memory. So I'd like to have that too, but right now it's just like 40 years of losing.